Hello, I would like to quickly advertise to you the Planet Forest 46b website, where you will be able to find a lot of lore and secrets about Planet Forest 46b. It will offer more information than the YouTube videos and in some areas the Discord server, and will probably become our main hub for information. So feel free to go and visit it while you still can. Hello there fellow space biologists, and today we will be looking at Pintad once again. This will be the finale to Pintad for now, although there could be more videos made in the future. Finally, this video will be talking about the organisms as seen on the timestamp guide on your screen. First off, we are going to start with organisms that are new to the project and have not been featured in past videos. Let's begin. Our first new organism discovered is known as the Filtration Shraker. Ancestor to the modern-day giant geyser smoker, the Filtration Shraker, as the name suggests, was a land filter, using the abundance of geysers and microorganisms to its advantage. It evolved because of the large geothermal activity which was brought about from Pintad's movement towards Abos. It used its bristle-like teeth filter, convergent evolution with baleen-pods, to be able to sift and sieve through microorganisms found in the hot springs and geysers. Its bony jaw helped it resist any burning of its flesh. The Filtration Shraker bared stripes upon its body, and large eye-looking patterns on its flipper used to confuse any potential predators. Interestingly, its flipper was not necessarily used to attract mates. They are known to be the ancestor to the last living Shrakidae member, the giant geyser smoker, which bears many far more specialized features. The maned longnose possesses many similarities to the basal species of Shrakidae, known as the Shraker. It had a longer skull, less armor, a longer tail, and thicker legs, used to support its stockier body. It uses its tube-like mouth to eat the members of Rhinrutidae, although this group hasn't been expanded on much, so we don't know much about the plant. It had a mane which we do not know the use of. Since there were so few specimens of the creature, we can only assume it had no sexual dimorphism, although more research is needed to fully understand this. The maned longnose would be fairly successful, and would lead on to one of the most successful scavengers on Planet Forest 46b's Pintad, the lesser-shelled longnose. The lesser-shelled longnose, unlike its ancestor the maned longnose, was carnivorous, mostly feeding off of eggs found in caves. Its longnose was used like a suction cup to crush the egg under the pressure, releasing a high-protein nutrient into the digestive system. With fossils dating to 40 to 37 million years ago, it seems to have thrived throughout Pintad, with many fossils of the organisms being found. Furthermore, we know why their extinction occurred. Their reliance off eggs from Shrakers and Splachidae members meant that once Shrakers started to give birth to live young, there was less of a chance of finding a meal, and their highly specialized mouth meant that they had reached an evolutionary dead end. The hardjaw is probably the most controversial pick for this list, not only because it migrated to Pintad through a land bridge, but that it didn't even involve itself on Pintad. It evolved on Abos. But still it will feature in this video anyway, because it is important to Pintad's history. The hardjaw was one of the first predators to migrate to Pintad, evolving around 20 million years ago, although it seems to have been so specialized that it destroyed and made most of Shrakidae extinct. At present, the hardjaw's descendants seem to be the only predators left on Pintad, and it seems that there is no trace of Shrakidae left. These animals were, of course, not the only creatures to have outcompeted the aliens of Pintad, although they seem to have been one of the many elements that led to their demise. And with that, we come to the end of all contributions to the Pintad project so far. I know most of them were made by me, but I still had a lot of help from the Dinohorst, Xenopleurodon Speculatus, and many other people in creating them, and they have been working on other parts of the project. Thank you to everyone who has contributed, and now we shall talk more about the other animals which have been spoken about in previous videos. The Tython is based on the Greek myth of the Stormmeister, which took Zeus's thunderbolts, except for this animal doesn't resemble it at all. It comes out in storms, making a rare sight, and breaks through the ground, digging up animals and catching sea creatures. It's a part of the group Laboridae, and is such a rare species compared to its more common relatives. The storms on the planet are a lot more dangerous, and the animals are well known to be struck down by lightning, adding to the mystery of why these animals even come out in storms. Their wings are massive, at a length of 7 meters, and their body length is at around 9. It evolved around 7 million years ago, and lives into the present day, with its population mostly being concentrated on Pintad, if not exclusively. The next alien we will talk about is known as the Land Spasher, an animal which has a direct relationship with the Tython. Unlike other members of Splasheridae, it almost exclusively lives on land, in the mountainous regions of Pintad. It is known to bathe and breed in the hot water springs, although it spends most of its time hunting in the vast tunnel networks of the mountains, hunting Rockerhurst and whatever other cave dwellers it comes across. It seems to be of above average intelligence, being curious and playful, even one of them investigating our cameras. Because it hunts in caves, it has very unique eyes, that it can barely move. They help see through the dark, and see predators from afar. Now we move over to the land bridge connecting Pintad to the mainland. Over here, there are many volcanic eruptions, which form new, fresh islands, where many unique species can evolve. And in these final regions can be found the last members of Shrackidae. Uncus Pedes, meaning scoop feet, is a part of the group Shrackidae. It uses its distinguishable scooped feet to dig under the rock and the ground to expose any small insect-like organisms laying under the ashes after an eruption. It uses its vestigial back legs in mating, much like many later organisms, such as members of Faunidae or Horrendocimeridae. After many volcanic eruptions around 1 million years ago, the ecosystem collapsed, leading to Uncus Pedes going extinct and Shrackidae only having one member, the giant Geyser smoker. The Geyser smoker is one of the most derived members of Shrackidae. Living on an isolated geothermal island, these animals feed off microbes, living in geothermal springs. Being one of the most well-adapted land animals to feeding off of these microorganisms, it uses its 3 bony nostrils that make it easier to feed through the water, filtering the toxic air. But because of that, they contract Xenopleurodon, sorry if I said that incorrectly, faster and grow yellow necks. But because of this, they live a measly 2 years. They are also known to lay eggs. It evolved from an isolated population of Filtration Shrakers that were left alone to fend for themselves on the island. They were successful and slowly evolved into what we know as the giant Geyser smoker. Unlike later Shrakers, they laid eggs, so whenever they die, a new generation comes to replace them. Their populations could be declining, although we need to learn enough to be able to actually understand how these creatures have survived this long. Viewer, we are now almost done, coming to one of our final species, the Shraker. The Shraker, or its scientific name Uncus Pedes, is the most basal species of Shrackidae. It has an extremely primitive birthing system, mostly involving of a bulbous organ. This can not really be described by any other land organisms, although ones in the sea do have similar reproductive systems. It seems that the animal would have mainly eaten green roots, although more information is needed to understand about its diet. It seems that Shrackidae and ream roots have a very long relationship, with ream roots even being parasitic to the animal while it was still alive. Thank you so much to Emzo8, Xenopleurodon Speculatus, Grey Ideas, and the Dinohorst for their contributions to this project, and their featuring art in this video. Thank you again to everyone who has contributed to this series, and it will be ending for now. Goodbye.